All right. First time trying this, so I need a little bit of feedback. If you can hear me, it'd be great. Let me know in the comments. It's really just we're trying to do some testing here. Make sure that I can be heard, be seen, all that other good stuff. Let's see here. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Mm. We'll pause the sound for just a second because y'all don't need to hear this. Well, I don't think I paused it in time. That's all right. Oh, see, we got one on the stream. Y'all forgive me. I don't have any music or anything like that going on. Get some of this stuff out of the way. And I'll explain what we're going to be doing here in just a second. All right. Got those back going. Again, if you can hear me, if you can leave a comment, let me know if you can hear me down below. Of course, you might be leaving a comment and I ain't figured out how to find it yet, but all right, guys. Well, I'm not one to really want to stand around with my teeth hanging out. So, what I was planning on doing in this video is, or this live stream, the main thing that I'm trying to do is test out the YouTube streaming, live stream, all that stuff. And I'm using OBS Studio to do that with. And I thought about, the project or what I would be doing to test this out is that I would show you guys how I choose to package my baits. I'll tell you the materials that I use, and show you the process that I use. And hopefully, there might be somebody out there who was like me, about a year and a half ago, that was trying to figure out this hobby, and lo and behold, it was other YouTubers that I would glean from, and one particular gentleman, I don't even remember his name. He hadn't put any content out in probably it's been a while, probably over a year. But I watched him, a video of him, did his um, how he did his stuff, and so that kind of helped me to um, settle on how I did mine. One of the things that I settled on is the type of bags that I use, and for me at the time, the price was right, but this is the type of bags that I use. They come from Spartan, um, and I get them off of Amazon. These are not the thickest bags in the world, but you can get a whole bunch of them for not a lot of money. I have started transitioning over to these thicker bags, and I think these are 4 mil. And there's one I've already got the sticker on. Print off too many labels, but I'm going to be making some more, so yeah, they won't go to waste. But these are 4 mil, and these, I guess these are either 3 or 2. The small one here, but they do make these in 4 mil. But I like these because they're a lot thicker, and but at the same time, I'm always on the search for better quality bags that they may be better quality bags, uh, but if I can get them at a decent price. So that's what we're looking for. Um, let's see here. While I'm doing this testing, I'm going to be going back and forth trying to figure out if this is working. Let's see here. Still haven't got any uh, anybody gave me any chats or live chatting. Of course, they may not be anybody watching either, and that's okay. Give me just a second. We are back. Had to run upstairs for just a second, but anywho, there we are. Can you guys hear me all right? I'm trying to figure this mess out. Let's see here. Maybe some of y'all can help me out in all this. Eddie Smith, 868. Nice to have you on the live chat. And we see Michael from Bake Chucking. See him in the chat. So hopefully you guys are, if you can't hear me, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. So anyhow, all right. So we, as I explained a little bit earlier, but I don't know that anybody was on here. We were just kind of waiting to see who could be on here. What I plan on doing is demonstrating how I package my baits, and so hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm going to be trying to show you all this, give you an idea of what I like to do, and this is kind of on the budget end of things. That's where I am, and I'm sure as my channel grows, as my business grows, I might end up, transitioning to some more better graphics, higher end baits, that kind of stuff. But until that time comes, this is what I'm using, and we're going to be going. I'm going to be using these bags up, and once I get to the bottom of these bags, then I'm going to hopefully be in a position to upgrade. So, and if you guys have any questions as I'm going through this, please feel free to post them in the comments, and we'll try to get this live stream rolling. I don't necessarily want it to be a long one, but have it as long as necessary. So okay. All right. So yeah, we can hear you. That's good. I'm using the OBS Studio to do my live stream. And so, and this is very elementary. I'm using the OBS Studio for live stream, and I'm using the DJI microphones. Got this one here on my hat, and I've actually plugged it into the laptop because I'm using my phone as my main camera, and I have these little puppies I ordered off of Amazon, and these, because of the way the phone sits in my gimbal, I have this where I've got it plugged in an extension so that it can reach through my case, and then it comes and curves around, and I can plug my charger, or if I'm just making a video that I'm not doing live, I'll actually plug my my microphone into that, and so that I can record directly on my phone. But those little 90-degree I guess it's 180 degree plug-ins allow me to do that. So anyhow, let's see here. Hack on the highway, get back to trucking. All right, Eddie, thank you for jumping in here while you can. Hopefully we'll see you the next time. And yes, sir, OBS is powerful. The more you learn it, the better the streams will get. Well, that's what I'm hoping. And eventually I'd like to incorporate, some music and things of that nature. But for a test run, I think just being able for y'all to see me and hear me, I think I'll be all right. I do have this. I want to see if I can transition over to do a transition. So let's see here. The scene, Casso, and see if I can transition over. That way, while I'm doing something, showing you how I'm packaging them, I can use this camera here, and so hopefully that'll work out well. The tricky part is getting it back and forth. So there we go. All right. So, all right, guys. Well, I'll go ahead and get started. Since there's enough people on here to give me some feedback, I'm not looking to do the news or anything like that. So, all right. So, right or wrong, this is how I do it. And again, it's a budget way of doing it. I have my bags that I've ordered from. These are from Spartan Industries, and they're like I think this may be either a 2 or a 3 meal. Then I've got thicker bags that are a 4 meal. And when I run out of these thinner ones, I'll probably go more to all thicker ones. But hopefully, like I said, by then I'll have maybe grown enough that I can source some of these nicer bags that some other people are using. But until then, if you're just getting started, hey, this is a fine way to do it. And so we'll just follow along. I'm not going to go on forever unless you guys keep asking questions and all that. So here's what I do. Again, so I'm going to, let's see, it's a little jittery. Recommendation is to increase the upload speed in OBS for the next stream. Okay. Yep. Can't do it while it's live. All right. That makes sense. Thank you, Michael. Okay. So I have these little containers that come out of the kitchen. We weren't using them anymore. They were for flour. And I actually have 3 different sizes. And, they're stainless steel. And so what I do with these is I use them to mix my worm oil with. And, or my scents. And I was thinking, the jittery part might be me. It might be me. So what I do is after I've let my baits cure, I'll put them in this container. Now, again, I'm not doing a whole lot of orders at one time. This is like if I'm getting ready for the farmer's market, that kind of thing. I've already counted how many I have, so I knew how many labels to print out. For my labels, I have a Rollo label printer. They have a wireless one. This one's wired, and I just print them off, and this is what my labels look like. They're very elementary, nothing crazy. But again, all this is budget and startup. I have a recommendation. Label your bags before you start handling this. Because when you get your hands all oily, it'll be a mess. Okay, so I've got Ned crawls. I've got 1.5 inch epic Ned crawls I've got to do. and I've got some 2.5 Ned crawls that I'm going to package up, 2-inch stone flies, and 2.2-inch caddis flies that I put in. And all right, so we're going to do this. All right, doing fine. I appreciate that. I have cut my teeth when I first started preaching. I cut my teeth on preaching for the radio, and I would wait for a Wednesday night, and I would wait till our service was over. Everybody would be shaking hands, fellowshipping, and then everybody would leave, and I'd stay behind. I would go back. Now this is back in the days where you recorded on CDs, tape or CD, and I would start the broadcast recording for the CD, and I would go up um, to the pulpit, and I would preach my message just like the house was full. And so, yes, I'm used to doing a whole lot of noise making with not a lot of people, and so don't bother me one bit. And so, all right, let's load these up. And so for this particular video, I'm just going to do the caddisfly. Here we've got the 1.35 stonefly. We're going to end up with one pack of those. And so we'll pull those off. These runners will go back in the pot. I'll use them. I'm going to make some 5-inch stick baits with those. And got those in there. Let's see. I'm going to package up. Put one more. The one thing I don't like about this setup is that I can't. Well, I can't say that I can't. I haven't figured out a way to zoom my camera like I normally can with when I'm just recording a video. I actually have the. Hold on a second. So this is the Hoham gimbal that my camera is on, and I love that gimbal. It gives a lot of control. I can use this little joystick independently, and I can turn you guys around, back and around, and up and down. So if I need to make adjustments, it'll do that. It does it smoothly, so that I'm not fidgeting with the camera. But also, when I'm just recording for a video, I can use this to zoom in and zoom out. But when I'm doing a live stream, I haven't found a way to zoom in and out, and I don't want to be fumbling around with the camera. Or my phone. So um, let's see. Switch the camera so we can see. What are y'all seeing right now? Oh, you want to see the gimbal? All right, so let me do that. Let me transition over. And you're going to see my dirty basement. Okay. So this is the gimbal. And it's one of those handheld gimbals that you can use. I'm not sure if I can zoom you in on this one or not either, but there you go. So this is just a regular tripod from here down, and then the gimbal is here. It does come with this hand extension / tripod, and but if I use this, it sits too low and you can't get a good view of what's going on here. And so that's why I like to use the other uh, regular tripod. And I could actually drop it down more if I wanted to. So that's what that's going on here. All right, let me get this back over to this view. Okay, hopefully that's right. Letting you guys give me feedback and helping me see what all was going on. And all right, so now the 2-inch. Going to be doing the 2-inch stonefly larva. And another thing it takes a little getting used to is the amount of time between what I'm doing and then the feedback on, I'm seeing live on OBS, but then there's a lag. And there might be a way to fix that. Maybe the upload speed, like Michael was saying, that might help. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put these sprues over here. Now we need to get our bags ready. And so let me go ahead and peel these off and get these stuck on. I will say this about heat labels. So if you're planning on using these heat labels, if you've ever gotten a receipt and you've kept it and then went back a while later and noticed that it was gone, these things, they're not printed, they're heat activated, and so over time sometimes they can basically fade and disappear. And so that's one of the issues with using the heat labels. That I was at the farmers market this last Saturday, and they were some of mine that I had in my little carrying case that I take them to the market in, and that the labels had faded, and so I just had to pull those, and I'll have to relabel them, but that's all right. Let's see here. And so I just label these. Oh, and while I do that, all right, Michael, thank you, buddy. I appreciate the good wisdom and input that you gave, and I'll definitely try to do that, increasing the bit rate next time, and see if that helps. So anyhow, all right, guys, back to it. So then I open my bags. Go ahead and open my bags, because after I oil these down and then go to putting them in the bags, I don't want to get any more oil on the outside of the bags than necessary. So we're going to open these, and I just eyeball the label. I got a pretty good eye for getting them centered up, and we'll go through. I also have these 2.5 Ned Crawls. Now for the smaller stuff, I use these smaller bags, and sometimes even I have some that are even smaller. I could have put the 1.35 stoneflies in this, but honestly I just forgot to, so I used those. But with the 2.5-inch Ned Crawl, I like to use these bags, and they are they're 4 inches by 6, and I just go down the line trying to prep this stuff ahead of time. doing it assembly line style. And again, I'm not saying this is the best way, uh, but it's a very economical way to get in on being able to package baits up and get them to where you can get them in the hands of people. And then a lot of times, people are going to they're going to use their own, put them in their own tackle box or those kinds of things. Uh, so, all right, so we ran out of. Now we need to go back to the smaller ones. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 1.5 Ned Crawl. So we're going to get those out. 4, 5, 6. Let's see here. All right. Oops. Wouldn't you know it? Okay. All right, so let's get these done. 1.5-inch Ned Crawls. And I don't have them in the bucket in the container yet because I will put a different scent on those. And the way I try to do it is I do it by scent. On the bugs, stuff like the stonefly, stuff like the caddisfly, even a lot of the crappie jigs. Sometimes I'll use the anise oil, and that's from Dead On Plastics. I use Triple Threat. It's actually from Do It. I'll probably transition, I don't know. I also have some Menhaden oil, some coffee oil, things of that nature that I have that I can use. But whatever I'm doing, I try to match it up. If it's a fish type bait, I try to use the shad scent. If it comes to like the worms, I use garlic. The reason I use garlic is because I don't have any worm scent. I have worm oil, but it don't smell like worms. But there is some scents out there that is earthworm scented. And so now we've got now we've got all the bags done for what we need to bag up today. But I think what I'll do is just bag up what I have in this. That'll give you an idea of what I do, and then from there, that'll be the most cost efficient time of your time. So, all right, now let me show you a couple pieces of equipment before I start getting my hands oily in here, and I reckon I still might have one or two watching. I'm not sure. It's all right if I don't. But anyhow, all right. So this is just a piece of plastic. That it's a piece of thick, flexible plastic. And I think what this is shelf liner. Now, it's not the rubbery, sticky kind. The I think it's liner that goes on like the metal shelves that have the grates, the kind like you get from Sam's Club or Costco, something like that. And it's what it does is it comes in a roll, and you can cut it to length of your shelf, and then from there it keeps stuff from, smaller stuff from falling through. Um, if you need something to cover up those grates with, and that's what this is. Uh, I've got a bigger one, and that is for bigger baits, of course. I use this one with um, I'll use this for like jerk baits, like 5 inch. Sometimes I can get away with it. Like I'll use this one for the 5 inch stick baits. I can get five across. I put five to a bag. If I go any bigger, make bigger bags, sometimes I'll make like a 10 pack. I'll use this with the bigger bags. Um, some baits you can crisscross, not crisscross, you can alternate the direction. I do that with like the uh, my crappie slayers, crappie crushers, that kind of thing, the 2 inch pinpoint, and I'll crisscross them so that they look nice and neat. And we'll show you how I get them in the bag here in a little bit. Now, with these bugs, a lot of times they've just got stuff going everywhere, but I still try to crisscross them so that they'll go in the bag nice and neat. But what I like about it is I can fold this up to get it in the bag, and the tails don't tend to catch as bad. Anyway, so let's get to this. All right. So with these bugs, I'm going to do this anise oil. Kind of reminds you of licorice, and so we're going to put 10 drops of oil in here in this, and then I can take this and shake them up around, spreading that around fairly decent. And after I do that, I reach in there and I mix them up just with my hands, just because I want to feel if they're saturated. Now, it doesn't take a lot of oil. Some people may have only put 5 drops to this amount, um, but that's okay. All right, so the first thing I've got, let's do this. Let's do the 2 inch stonefly. So what I'll do is, let me see here. I might switch this camera over so that you can see a little bit closer up. Okay. So what I'll do is I will just take, let's do the 2 inch stoneflies. So I'll get those out, and of course there's not a front or a back. And I'll count out 16, and I just kind of smush them close together. 4, 5, 6, 7. And I know this is kind of tedious, but 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So I do a 16 pack on these. And the reason I do a 16 pack is because um, that's what you get out of 2 shots. You get 8 per mold. And so kind of is a front and back, yeah. Yes, sir, that's for sure. And let's see here. Um, All right, so once I do that, then I'll come over here and I'll get my bag. It's already open, so I don't have to get no more of that oil on the outside of the bag than I need to. And then I'll fold this up, slide that in there, and then I'll just kind of clamp my finger right here and kind of work them down in there just a little bit. And once you get it past the zipper, then I just slip that out. Now, I had enough oil on the baits to make it slick, but every now and then what I'll do is I'll take just regular worm oil and I'll just put a few drops on there. That's actually a little too much, but it'll be all right. It'll get used. And then I just coat my plastic, and we'll go from there. Then I wipe my hands on my pants. But yep, right there is the and I still ended up getting, I'll try to get a little bit of the air out, not too much, excuse me, but then I'll zip it up, and there it is. So the last thing I'll do is I'll take a pair of hole punchers, try to line it up pretty good, pop a little hole in there, and then I'll transition. Let me transition over. Then I'll take them and I'll hang them up. I've got nails over here on that I'll hang packages up, and because I usually reserve these for like curing baits, but you can't see over here on to the left of me, so I hung it up right there. All right, so now on to the next one. 2.2 inch caddisfly. Now, a lot of times what I'll do, because I've got 3 different sizes of bait in here, is go largest to smallest because the bigger ones are easier to pick out. And so let's see here, how many of these do we have? We got 1, 2 packs of these, and I do 12 to a pack. And so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I know this ain't the most interesting content in the world to people who already have a system, but what I really wanted to do more was a video of this is what I do, and this was interesting to me when I was starting out, and so blue line doing good. Let's see, we got Steve Craig 8023. We got OB Suti from I hope I said that right, from Southern Ohio, and Ohio, that's a state that I haven't visited yet. I go to Pennsylvania, but I'd love to go up to Ohio. One of these days I'm going to have to hang a left and go over into Ohio and check you guys out. Let's see. And then we got Blue Line. He's just over the holler. I'm doing good. Obesity Baits. Oh, my word. Oh, if that was a franchise, I'd be part owner in Obesity Baits, because if you couldn't tell. So, oh, that's good. I like that. So, all right. So we got our 2.2 inch caddisfly larva here. And another thing I'll do, not so much with these, but if I'm packaging up like well, let me grab, I think I've got some here. Um, if I'm doing something like these, let me switch you back over so you can see. Okay, so if I'm doing something like these 2-inch um, crappie slayers, I will lay them on their back. I have done them this way before on their side, and that's okay. But they end up falling over anyway a lot of times. So what I'll do is I'll just stack them on their back like this, and I'll crisscross them, and I'll just keep doing that in opposite direction. And when I put them in the bag, I'll actually turn the bag over so that the top of the bait will be in alignment with the label. And so, but anyway, with these caddisfly larvae, up is down, down is up, so it really doesn't matter. And so, but just out of habit. And then I'll curl that up, slide them in there, place my finger right here, slip them out, and that's where that worm oil helps. And then let a little bit of air out of the bag, not of me. I'm guilty of doing that from time to time. And then I'll find the middle, close to the middle, pop a little hole, and then they're ready to hang up. And so that's how I do mine. How do I determine how many's going in a bag? Well, at one time I used to try to copy Bobby Garland and guys like that. But what I found is best is, for me, is to basically go by your mold count. Now, if you're gonna be just making a whole bunch of baits, and it doesn't matter, you're just gonna be counting them out. You do what you want. But what I typically try to do is go by the mold count. If it's a 20 count mold, that's what I do. A couple exceptions is going to be, of course, your bigger baits. They may not always give you a large enough count to fill a bag, and the crappie slayer is a 24 count mold, and the crappie crusher is a 20 count mold because of the space of those split tails. The mold is the same, but the split tails, they don't have as much room. But I do 20 on those either way. So I don't do 20 for the crappie crusher and then 24 for the slayer. But what I do with those 4 extras is sometimes you'll get a defect, that kind of thing, or I just keep those for myself. Of course, if you're running enough, you'll end up having an extra amount anyway. So, all right, here we go. Check the label, 2.2 caddisfly, and open the bag. And gravity over time is going to take these guys down to the bottom of the bag. I just think it still looks better even if they're all piled up, if you've got them going this way and that. And then we hang them up. And then we transition back over to this view. We've got one more to do, and that is going to be the little stonefly. Okay? Now, these guys, there's really no reason to try to crisscross them. Normally with them, and I just count them out and pile them up. And here we go, just another little drop. maybe 2 drops. That was probably the equivalent of 7. And I just paint it back up with my finger. All right, so with the 1.3-inch stonefly, I do 20. And so with this, I just count them out. 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. I had an extra runner that I had up here, so I'll have a few extras, but I'll tell you, I will put those in I keep a little tackle box about that big, about like that. No, it's one of those, about like that. I keep it under the back seat of my truck, and I've got a collapsible fishing rod from Cass King that I put behind the headrest. And it's perfect for if you're going down the road and you're like, hey man, that looks like a good spot. There might be some fish in there. Or like behind my church where, I pastor Drowning Creek, and the actual creek, Drowning Creek, has some little brim in it and stuff. And it's perfect if my wife's giving some clarinet lessons. I'll go down there and fish in the creek just to pass the time. And this little bait right here is what I catch them on. So anyway, let me catch up on these chats. Let's see here. Sorry I missed it. What material are you using to lay them on? That's a great question. It is a plastic material that is to put on top of metal racks. It comes in a sheet, and let's see. I will show you in just a second. Let me bag these up, and I will show you exactly what I'm talking about. So with these, I don't crisscross them or anything like that. I just pile them up in there, and because they're so small that I just really and just dump them in there and let out some of the extra air. I don't take it all the way airtight because if they don't have room to move around. And I think it helps to have a little bit of room for them to move around. That way they don't get folded over quite as bad. So let me transition back over to our main view. So this little piece of material here, I cut it out of this roll. Okay, this roll it's a roll of material that is used to go on shelving. The type of shelving that you buy from who has it? Sam's Club, Costco. They got the metal shelves that have the grates, and they're stackable. Or you can, when you put them together, the shelves can be adjusted. They're not stackable. That's not what I was trying to say. But you can adjust the shelves to the height you want, and they've got the black rings that seat. You put them wherever you want, and then you seat the shelves. Well, those shelves have grating across them, and so they also sell this in case you're wanting to put things on the shelves that the grates would be an issue. And so that's what that is. And we had bought that. We had bought some of those smaller shelves, like the ones that are like 3 feet tall and about like that, to put our dog and cat feeders on. And we put this under it so that the food wouldn't, when they're eating, the food wouldn't fall between the grates. And so that's all that is. And it's just I think we probably got it from either Lowe's because they sell that type of shelving too, I think. Either Lowe's or Sam's is where we got that. And we didn't use it all, so I put it to use. And so, good question. All right, let me get back over here and see if there's any others. Kind of the same texture as a milk jug. That's exactly right. It is, and I think it's probably just a little bit thicker than a milk jug, but I may be wrong. I may be wrong. Let's see. Love the spray bottle idea for oil. Yeah, I got these off of Amazon, and they work. They work really good for it. I wanted it to spray a mist. Sometimes it does. Most of the time it don't. But it does get the worm oil out either way. And so, again, I got those off of Amazon. And let's see here. Having need some for bagging and for the grates and some myself. Yeah, so you can kill two birds with one stone. You can get you a roll and or two, and you know what you can do if you have any left over. So, all right, guys. Trying to think if there's anything else. Again, I like to hang them up, and you can see they started out flat in the bag, but they've, gravity's took them down, but they still look good. And one of the problems that I ran into early on when I was just counting them and throwing them in bags is like you might get a bait that's leaned up over against the side and it's doing like that. And then you get it out and you go to fishing with it. If it's like one of these, if it's like one of these crappy slayers, and you might have a tail that's like that, and it's because it's set in the bag, and it was like that. To prevent that, the first thing you want to do is cure your baits. For the crappy jigs like that, for the bug baits, a lot of times I'll just hang them on the sprue. A lot of people do that. I'm sure most of you have seen that. But then for some of the bigger baits and creature baits, I will lay them out on pans and do them that way. And that, keeps them nice and straight. And then once they cure and you get them in the bags, they're less likely to deform quite as much. And so that's why I do that. Let's see here. I thought I'd seen. Let's see. About the AI injectors. Yep, they are Anglin AI injectors. These are. This goes to the Shooting Star Mini. Let's see here. Missed this question. I noticed your collection of injectors. What's your favorite one? I tell you what, I've got a video that I did on my injectors and what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them. I have to say the Anglin AI injector, I have the least amount of issues with it once I learned it. When it comes to the Angling AI injector, these loosen up, okay? And what happens is it's got this Teflon in there, and it's got a Teflon tube. One of my favorite things about this injector is the fact that it does not draw the heat away from the plastisol as fast as the others. And so what that ends up doing is allowing you to shoot more baits per shot. And if you're in a rhythm going down through the line, when you're done, you might only have a puck that's about that big. Um, and you have time, even if you have that much left in the injector, you can dump it back in your cup and you still won't have but one about like that once it gets heated up. Now, what the learning curve with this was this: the Teflon tube that's on the inside, as it heats up, it expands. And so if you don't have this uh, a thread or so loose, as it expands, it will push down this way and it'll cover these threads. And so you won't be able to get your nozzle all the way. So what you have to do is after your first shot, loosen it up here, and when you screw this all the way up, it'll push that tube up. And then after a couple shots, you still might have to loosen this up a little bit. But then there comes a point where it no longer is expanding, and then at that point, you don't have to mess with it anymore. If you don't do that and you're shooting a dual, you basically won't be able to get the nozzles all the way up. And when that happens, this will not click. This will not click all the way in there. And so it'll just fall back out. Ask me how I know. I'm glad you asked. I know this because right after I first got it, I was shooting and I was going from one to the other. And when I got done, this just fell off. I assumed it was latched in, but it was not. And it was because I couldn't screw these up all the way. So I contacted the company. The company said, hey, look, as it expands, you've got to loosen this a little bit more, and that will allow you to close these off. And then hear the click. Now it's locked in. And so this is the key to this system. And I don't know if I don't remember seeing that anywhere in the instructions, but it was a problem. And at first I thought, I'm going to have to return this or I'm going to have to use it. The lock situation ain't going to matter. It ain't going to work. But once I figured that out, it's a beautiful system. I have this dual injector for bass tackle. This was the first dual injector that I got. It works great. If I could get these nozzles on this, it would be awesome. About the only drawback I have with the Anglin AI injector is because it's a screw top. Sometimes it gets a little boogery. If you're nervous, you're working with hot plastic, or if you're down to the last little bit in your cup, and so you're heating it up and you're pouring it in instead of drawing it up. That way you can make sure you get most of your plastic in there to do your last injection. And then see how that, look at there. You see how that comes up? That's because it's cold. Once it gets hot, it expands. So anyway, so you pour your stuff in there, and now you're trying to get this on, and the threads are real fine. And so sometimes it can get a little boogery, but that's the only negative that I can say about this thing. And it's not really a negative. It's just one of those things you have to get used to. But if it had the same nozzles as this, that's so easy on and off. That would be great. But anyhow, those guys know what they're doing when they design this stuff. So anyway, hope that helps. Let's see, N2, an Ultra Molds injector, and the Shooting Star Mini. Oh, you got your Shooting Star Mini today. That'll be fun. Yeah, I've got a Shooting Star Mini, and I really like it. But it's one of those things that if you're going to break it out, you're you're going to be working because you don't break it out just just to shoot a couple rounds of baits. It is a production machine, and that's what I use it for. Um, I use it for production. I have people call me, hey, can you make me up 2 or 3 bags of, say, monkey milk crappie slayers, and I'll get the Pyrex cup out to do 2 or 3 bags. But if I'm getting ready to go to the farmers market to sell, or I've got a big order like Brookville Fly and Bait Shop, if they're ordering 20 packs, I'll break out the mini, and man, it makes short work of it. So yeah, yep. The Now I do have an N2 injector, or not an injector, but the SDG N2, and I really like this blending block. But one thing I've found when you're using it is you really need to preheat it, or it's going to seize up your plastic very quickly when you're trying to work and do that. But yeah. So, all right, guys. I reckon that kind of brings an end to what we were going to do, showing you how I package my baits and get them ready for the market, or get them ready to sell to individuals. And so, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments below. I want to make sure that I've answered everybody's questions before I get off here. So I'm going to give it a little bit of time. But and while I'm at it, I just want to showcase, this was from Ken Johnson, USA, and I got it hung up. So I got all these stickers from other folks, and it's like Chris from Lip Ripper said, there's somebody behind every one of those, and every time I look at them, I think about these different guys and how great our community is. But I got this one hanging up as well. I don't know if you can always see it. I actually normally have it over here on the left, but I thought I'd put it over here. But that's from Ken Johnson. He does feather painting, and that is just absolutely stunning. And what that is a fin off of a red drum. So how cool is that? So I hang that up, and I actually am getting ready to package up his baits. He ordered these, and he ordered these. These are Angry Rose and Heat Wave siren scales. Angry Rose and Heat Wave siren scales, and with some black flake in there. And so those are some beauties. But Ken, I'm packaging these up. I don't know if you'll see this video, but I'm packaging those up and getting ready to send them your way. So, all right, guys. Let's see. Obesity, yeah, do a sticker swap. Absolutely. You can, my email address is preacherscreaturesyt@gmail.com. And you can shoot me your information there, Preachers Creatures YT, and the YT stands for YouTube. So Preachers Creatures YT at gmail.com, and we'll get some stickers out there too, brother. So, how many molds? Let's see. You're very welcome. How many molds? Thank you, Steve, for checking us out. How many molds does your air vise hold? Okay, so let me move you just a little bit so that you can see it better. So right now, with the all of these are epic except for this one. The one on the very end is a 2-inch gilly mold from Hog Salad, but the thickness of it is the same. Right now, this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I could back it up and probably put probably another 2 molds in this safely. So I could potentially get 8 molds in there. Um, the reason I have it set the way I do is the way I shoot my baits is typically crappie. You know, I can set all my crappie stuff in there um, and shoot those. This one is a 2.5-inch Epic Ned Crawl mold, but it's the same width. So yeah, I could probably get 8 in there. But it does more. It does more than usually does more than I need it to do. Normally, I'm shooting 3, maybe 4 of these, and there's usually 2 that are empty. Another thing that you got to think about too is different size molds. So this is an Epic mold, but you can see how much shorter. And so what I need to do is I need to cut me a block of wood, the thickness of this so that and the height so that I can put this one in there too. But then you got the problem, you know, you got to make sure it's sandwiched in between so these smaller ones will be clamped tight enough. Let's see. Yep. We'll do. So anyway, that should answer that question. If I got to where I was doing more, I might build a longer one. But I followed Adam's over at SDG. I followed his instructions on that. I had to make a few tweaks because of the materials. And so if you're going to follow the way Adam did his, I encourage you to check out the video I did on my air vise build and what I had to do different, because there were some parts that he used because the others weren't available at the time, and so he had a suggested and it had to do with some of the washers and stuff. But he had some that he suggested, but he couldn't use them because of they weren't available. Well, I got the ones that were suggested, but then they didn't quite work the same way. I had to change it up. So watch that video that I did on that before you go. That way you'll know. Otherwise, you'll be like me and drive yourself crazy trying to figure out why it's not working, why you can't get the bolts screwed in. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, I think we have come to the end of it. I appreciate all of you that have watched, and hope you enjoyed this live chat. This is my first one, and just the fact that people could actually see what's going on and hear what's going on. That's a that's impressive for my ability. I did see one other comment. Side of a milk jug or laundry detergent jug. Yeah, Jeffrey Roberts. Yes, Jeffrey Roberts 4498. You're exactly right. If you got a laundry detergent jug that's got enough smooth area, milk jug as well. Sometimes that some of the jugs have that dimple in there that could cause issue. But yeah, if you can find something like that, it'd work just fine, and it's free. I just happened to have that laying around, and so I used it. All right, guys, we're going to call it a night. Thank you again. This was a whole lot longer video than I anticipated. I was thinking maybe 30 minutes, but that my congregation, they laugh at me too when I tell them I'm not planning on preaching long, and I end up going 45 minutes. They always tease me about that. But anyway, I love you guys. Appreciate you. Yeah, if you're interested in doing a sticker swap, just email me at Preachers Creatures, and that's without any an apostrophe. It's Preachers Creatures, YT, that stands for YouTube, at gmail.com. Preachers Creatures YT at gmail.com. Till the next time, we appreciate you, and y'all have a blessed day.